of the reasons why I like him so much is that while he has written a fair share of realist and dramatic pieces, real heavy stuff full of sadness and tragedy, he also had a sense of humour and was often able to represent the harshness of existence through, while not downright comedy, definitely a sense of humour. So, in fact, aside from his work in poetry, prose and philosophy, Hughes was actually a great humorist of his time. And this is something that is not often discussed about him, but I think should be. I'm not going to get into the whole spiel about how unfair it is that comedy is looked down upon by critics and academics, something that despite everything is still happening to this very day. Instead, I'm going to try and recite a poem that he has written that not only represents the blues and jazz influences of his jazz poetry, but also shows how he could represent something as harsh as depression through humor. And I also hope that this will encourage anybody listening to this to look for his amazing works and find out more about the genius that was Langston Hughes. I'm going to read it as if I was Langston Hughes, as if I was kind of like into the jazz vibe of the time. So that's why it might sound a little weird the way I interpret it, but I'm going to try my best. So the poem is called Life is Fine, and it is from 1949. I went down to the river. I sat down on the bank. I tried to think but couldn't, so I jumped in and sank. I came up once and hollered. I came up once and cried. If that water hadn't have been so cold, I might have sunk and died. But it was cold in that water. It was cold. I took the elevator 16 floors above the ground. I thought about my baby and thought I would jump down. I stood there and I hollered. I stood there and I cried. If it hadn't have been so high, I might have jumped and died. But it was high up there. It was high. So since I'm still here living, I guess I will live on. I could have died for love, but for living, I was born. Though you may hear me holler, and you may see me cry, I'll be dogged, sweet baby, if you gonna see me die. Life is fine, fine as wine. Life is fine.